Hi, folks. Special greetings to you from the Snow City inside Canada. Today, we are focusing on one of the important pillars of our societies, that is teachers. Teachers Diary is a program that places a lot of values on teachers who are making significant impacts in our society. Teachers are the key developmental agents in shaping the lives of the young generation towards development of our futures. Help me welcome John Akortia to Teachers Diary. Mr. Akortia, John, you're welcome.
Thank you, my brother. And
How
thank
are
you
you
for having
doing?
me.
Thank you
By the
so
grace,
much. It's
I'm fine.
we thank God. How is life treating you in Ghana?
Ghana is our motherland and is a land of our birth.
Okay.
So I may say that it is not every day or every time that your mother will give you all the good things.
Okay.
When you are enjoying the good things and then the bad times also comes, you have to prepare yourself to focus or to walk in that lane. So I would say that I will relate the life in Ghana as just the way our mothers treat us. When they
Okay.
have, they provide. If they don't have to, you yourself you have to know that this is what my mother used to do, but today is because maybe she's not happy.
Oh, okay. That's very nice. Now, let me start by asking, who is Mr. Akortia John?
Okay, I would like to say that I'll be happy if you refer to me as John because if you add my surname, it means
Mm,
that maybe I have to go into the background of the family. So
okay,
if you refer to me as John, then this is John you have. All
okay,
right. So
okay.
yeah,
Thank you so much for that clarification.
yeah. All right. John is a young man in the middle 30s,
Okay,
an educator, team player, goal setter, and he has some philosophies that he works with. The philosophy is that is to make sure that everybody around him is happy
okay,
and it's good to work with any form of people,
okay,
no matter how difficult the person is. John is the kind of person that can work with that person.
okay,
So basically, that is John. I'm from a family of nine.
okay.
Forgive me if I'm using some mathematical terms because I'm a mathematics educator.
Don't worry.
So from a family of nine, and then I'm the median.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm the median. Yeah. So basically, that's John.
okay, okay. Will you mind sharing with us where you come from, where you were brought up?
Okay. Yeah, I was born in Aglodomi.
Okay,
It's a suburb in now Angono district.
okay,
So I think in my early years, we traveled to Ashama with my mother
okay,
because my mother is a trader. So before I got to know what is wrong and bad,
mm,
I found myself in a town called Ashama. I don't know how I got to Ashama,
okay,
but I found myself there. So I think at the age of 7, 8, thereabout, a man who is from where I was born, that is Agbedomi,
okay,
met my mother and I. We were returning from my mother's workplace. And then he came back home to report to my father that he saw me and my mother in Ashama. As the Anglo, typical Anglos and then the Voterians, how a man would like to, uh, you know, um, take care of the son, to teach the
okay,
son how to be a man. So my
mm,
father requested that they brought me back to Agbedomi.
okay,
So my mother couldn't say anything. Then she sent me to Agbedomi. So There, I happened to see my father for the first time. I might have seen my father when I was young, but that I don't know anything, so I don't know who my father was. So when I came back to Agbodomi at the age of 7, 8, I was introduced to a man who happens to be my father. So from there, I love to go to school, you know. So I told my dad that I want to go to school. So, but when I went there, I think they were getting closer to the end of the term. So there's no way I could get admission at the time. So they waited till the next academic year, and then they took me there. But before then, my mother took me to school some number of times to enroll me because you will see me in the house trying to teach. And I don't even know what I was doing. So people will come back from school because the school is close to us. It is not fenced, so we can go to the school and see what is going there. So when I go to the campus and I see what is going there, then when I come back home, then I try to put people together to mimic what I saw someone doing in the class, for which I will say that person is the teacher as I'm standing here. So, but those days, there is a criteria that you have to meet before you can be admitted into a class. That is, you have to fold your hand across your head to touch the ear at the other side. So, like this. So, if you cannot hold this ear, it means you are not old enough to be admitted. So
Okay.
I practice this thing on my own to see if I can find a way of beating that thing to go to school, but I don't have anything to do about that. So
Okay.
that was why my mother couldn't enroll me in school until I was brought back to Agbodemi to join my father. So the following academic year, they put me into school. And because I was 8, and then they asked me some few questions, and then I was able to, I just came back from Accra. So I was able to express myself in my own little way. And then they say, oh, per what? They even give me some arithmetic, 1 plus 1 and those things. So I was able to do them. They say, oh, then they put me to class 2. So I started school from class 2 at Agbedomi. Then something unfortunate happened when I was in class 6. That was in 1999. In the third term, I lost my dad. And that is where the realities of life started. So 1999, I lost my dad. So I was with my stepmom at the time, and things started going back and forth. But my focus is because I transitioned from Accra to the village. I see how people hustle. In Ashama is a hustling town. You see young people in Ashama, they are hustling. Nobody cares about anybody. People are moving up and down trying to do their thing. So, and then I was able to complete my GHS. That time they were called GHS. So when we finished writing exam, I think the fees that we pay was, I think today in today's Ghanaian cedis, it will be 91 pesos. That was
Okay.
the time there was some kind of revolution when the school fees was cut down. So I
Okay.
think it will be 91 pesos. That was the school fees that we paid to see us write our final exams. So after the final exams, we were told that when you pass, the school that you selected will send you a letter.
Okay.
This is the orientation that I have. I've never been to secondary school before. And at the time, nobody in my family have also been to secondary school.
Okay.
So I don't have anybody in front of me ahead to ask, oh, how are things done? But this is what I was told in the school, that when you pass your exams, they will send you a admission letter. So we finished writing, and I think after 1 week, we heard that some papers had been cancelled. The first time a paper had been cancelled, that was 2002. Some papers has been cancelled. So we were called back to come and rewrite.
Oh.
And I was thinking, what is the cause of this? They say a poll has leaked and people saw it. So I was thinking, Apple has leaked. When they say Apple, we don't see anything around that. Our, let's say, voter.
Oh, I don't know. Sir John? Oh, maybe it could be a network problem. So wait. Oh, I'm so sorry for these hiccups. I don't know. It could be a network problem. So we'll wait and see what will happen. Oh. Hi, John. Oh, sorry for this inconvenience. Okay, I actually lost him online. I know he's going to come back. Then we'll see what will happen. I just lost him. I think it's as a result of network. So he will join the feed in a jiffy. Then we'll take it from there. If today happens to be the first time you come across this page, if today happens to be the first time you're watching, kindly consider following the page. And those of you who are also watching, please consider sharing the link to help other people have access to what we are going to discuss. Today is Teacher's Diary. This is a program that we actually use to acknowledge the impact of teachers in Ghana and those who are in the diaspora. So if you are a teacher, this is the right place for you. If you are not even a teacher, you've been taught by a teacher before. So it's actually an opportunity for you to listen to what teachers go through, what teachers have gone through, the impacts they've been making in our society. Because the development of every society lies on the doorstep of teachers. So it's imperative that we accord teachers that respect, we accord teachers that opportunity. You get that? That is why this program has actually been planned to give them that opportunity to, yes, accord them that respect. It's actually sad that maybe teachers are not actually respected in the part of the world that we find ourselves in. But irrespective of that, those of us who know the significance of being a teacher will continue giving them that respect. I'm sure our guests will join again. I'm sure he will join again. Then we will actually continue the program. I'm expecting him to join any moment from now. Yeah, he will join any moment from now. Maybe network connectivity, or maybe the network has actually disappeared in his area or something else. I don't know. But I expect him to join any moment soon. Then we'll take it from there. In actual fact, he was sharing some interesting discussions with us before we had the technical error. He was telling us how he began his school, how his father also passed on, and the reality of life began to dawn on him. How they wrote their BEC, I think somewhere 2002, and he learned that the paper was cancelled. I don't know if I have to call him. Let me try calling him and see. I don't know what. Let me call our guest. Oh, what could have happened? I'm trying to link up with him. Just so that he. Oh, I don't know. Good, he's back. Matiko,
Ah,
welcome back.
yeah.
We just lost you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you now. Can you also hear me?
What happened?
I don't know. You just left like that. I don't know what really happened. So I was thinking you were having some network challenges.
Maybe that could have been a call because I was maybe trying to reach you through the other means, but
Yeah,
it
your
was
call
not going
actually
through.
came through WhatsApp. So I was just trying to use the other this thing to call you. You were actually telling us before we had the network challenges and you dropped offline. You were actually telling us how you sat for the BEC exam in 2002, and they only told you that the papers have been cancelled and you need to go back to school. So I'll be very glad if you can take it from there. How? Hello, Sir John? Can you hear me? Oh, hello. Oh, I don't know what is happening to the network from our guest. Hello, John. Oh, this is so sad. I don't know. Yeah, John? Yeah, John? Ah, we lost him again. We just lost him again. So I don't know. I don't know. It could be a network problem. I'm sure this is typical this is network failure. Let's give him some few minutes for him to join us again. I have some two messages here. It's an Anna watching you. Keep it up. Keep up the good work, bro. That is from NS Restigi. Thank you so much. Then I have another message from my good brother John Bosco Akortia. He said my namesake, Akortia John. Hey, Bosco, I see you. Bosco actually, this was honored, I think last week. Bosco was honored by the Ghana National Association of Teachers for being their, I think, topmost social media, I don't know, social media, oh, something social media. I think I've forgotten the exact reason why he was given that award, but I think the award was given to him as someone who has been reacting on most of the posts that Ghana National Association of Teachers has been making on social media. I don't know if their posts, he's been the top engager of their posts on social media. I think I got it right. So he's been honored. Bosco, thank you so much. God bless you. You've been doing well. For you to be given that recognition clearly shows that your impact is felt. Thank you. Uh, our guests, I don't know. Who have to try reaching out to him again and see. Don't know what is the problem. The problem from our guest. We lost our guest again. The program was actually going on, but I don't know. We just our guest was having some network challenges, so the line keep dropping. So I'm still expecting that he'll join the feed, then continue with the program. I'm expecting him to join any moment from now. So I don't know. I'm expecting him to join. So I'm sorry for these inconveniences that we are facing today. I don't know. This is the first time we are having these technical difficulties on Teachers Diary. It's been smooth, but I don't know. But I'm sure our guest is having network challenges today, and I expect that he will join us soon. I'm trying to get. I don't know what is. So it's good. He's back again. Oh,
Wow.
Matico. Yeah.
See, the reason of being in Africa.
Oh, you are in the capital city of Ghana. So I don't really expect this to happen, but you are having network fluctuations.
Can you hear me,
Can you hear
please?
me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So can we continue?
All right, sure.
Yeah. So you were actually taking us through that unfortunate incident of writing your BEC exam in 2002 before you were notified that the papers have been cancelled. So if you
Yeah.
can take it from there.
Yeah, so some of the paper has been cancelled, so we were called back to come and write.
Okay.
So I was asking myself, they don't say paper has leaked. It's only we know it has been happening in Accra,
Okay.
but that year they say it has leaked nationwide.
Okay.
But I cannot attest to the fact that anybody from my class has seen any paper. So I was angry within myself, telling people that if we have to write again, then those who were caught or something, they should rather be called to write.
Okay.
Not some of us who are in the interlands that we don't have access to, even in the internet. Not mobile phones, not even common those days. Then something popped into my spirit that let me poke my class and see. So one day when we were called back, we went to the school, and then I stood in the front of the class and said that those of you who have seen the apple, your names are with me. So, but if you don't own up, I will publish your names. And I was serious about this. Then a guy just stood up and said he didn't get it. It was someone who got it. Then he went to the person to learn. And then the father was in the bedroom telling the son that, my son, these are the questions that are coming. So learn this very well. My father was not in the known that the son was having a visitor. So for this guy to keep quiet, he had to be exposed to the papers.
Mm.
So this guy, when we are learning, he will come to you and tell you that what we are learning will not come. And because he has seen, so it is something that we have been doing. When we are going to write the exam, it's normal. So we take it as something that is normal. Then instead, so he brought the idea, and then we are able to know that okay, some people got the paper even before that. So that tells you the magnitude at which that paper has leaked. The paper leaking down into the downstream, it means it has leaked actually.
Okay.
So we were called back. So we went and then we wrote our paper, and then the result came. By the grace of God, I was able to meet the target for my the first choice of my selection, that is Kita School.
Okay.
So because I have my pass, and then they also told us the cutoff point for Kita School, I know definitely I will be chosen by Kita School. So I was waiting until one gentleman who was schooling at the time at Junior Penny Senior High
Okay.
came back to the village, and then he requested to see my result, and I gave him the result. He said, so was I able to go to the schools to go and check for placement? And so we were told that they will send us letter. I said, no, they will only send you the letter if the admission is over and then it did not come. That was when they will send me the letter. So the following day, he took me voluntarily,
Okay.
not even assistance from any member of my family. He just decided to take me to Kita School. So because that's the first choice, we went there. And then on the notice board, number 40, that is if you can go check 2022 admission, number 40.
2002.
2002, sorry, number
Okay.
40. My name is there for general arts,
Okay.
political science aspect, you know. So when we went for the admission letter, the cost of admission was 600,000.
Okay.
Today, 60 cities.
Yeah.
So the guy promised me that because he has been monitoring me around how I do my things, studying and all those things. So even though those days we don't even have light, we only
Okay.
see light when we go to Keta, and then
Mm.
so we use lantern. Even the lantern, you have to find a way of getting your old kerosene down, because if you are spending the kerosene like that, people get angry. So get money, buy your own kerosene. When this one quench, you top it up. So he said, okay, fine. He will support me with 200,000. So now it is left with 400,000 to complete the admission. So when I came home, I told my brother, this is the situation. I said, okay, he's going to see some headmaster whose son, the one who got the paper,
Mm.
is a very close friend of mine.
Okay.
So we are be doing the challenge. So he told the father that I'm in his challenge in the class. So when we finished the exam, the father asked him, what of your friend?
Mm.
And luckily enough, too, my brother went to the daddy. Daddy said,
Mm.
okay, fine. If I can get the admission fee, he has rented a house for his son. He's alone
Okay.
there.
Okay.
So I could go and join. It means accommodation has been secured.
Mm.
Now, where to get the rest 40 cities, 400,000 at the time, has become the hurdles now. So I traveled to Angola, where that's where my family, my brothers, my father's brothers and sisters reside.
Okay.
So the guy took me there because I've been there once, so I was able to show the way, lead the way to the house. So we presented the case, and then he said that he's ready to support me with 200,000. So they should look for the rest 400,000 so that I could go to the school. So we delivered a message. We went back to Agbedomi. So after some weeks, that was close to Hogbechuchu. So I went back with the sense that during the Hogbechuchu's festival, maybe they will say something about the 400,000 that is at stake. So what I could hear was that my auntie told me, that's my father's, their last born,
Okay.
that Kitasco is far from Angroga. Before you go to Keta, you have to take a car. Even if you are there and then you are hungry, nobody knows because there's no mobile phone.
Mm.
So looking at things, it will be impossible for me to go to Kitasco. So why can't I go to Zion College,
Okay.
or if possible, and Anglo Technical Institute?
Okay.
Because that one, when you go to Technical Institute, you learn some crafts, some skills before, rather than this kind of long bookish something.
Mm.
So in fact, my dreams were shattered because coming from this particular background and then being able to meet the cut-off point for Kitashku, we are talking about Kitashku, and getting admission to Kitashku, and then you forfeit that admission. In fact, it was something, but there's nothing I could do. I don't have the money, and nobody's even ready to get that money at that time. It's a very big money,
Mm.
so I have to eat my humble pie. And so the suggestions came. So Zico, if you like Zico, you go the next academic year. So I said, okay, a half loaf is better than none. At least somebody brought a suggestion.
Mm.
So why can't I twin my mind to that?
Mm.
So even with that, I realized that I cannot stay somewhere and then when it is time for admission, and then I'll go and tell somebody that, okay, I am looking for admission of 600,000.
Mm.
Who will put his or her hand into his pocket and give me such an amount of money?
Mm.
So I decided to move from my stepmother's place to Angloga because I realized that there are a lot of potentials in Angloga. So I went back, and then they gave me to one of our family uncles who was trained by my grandfather.
Mm. Okay.
When he was young, he was trained by my grandfather in farming, this shallot and then shallot, tomatoes, and pepper farming. So it's like this is the time for him to pay back what he learned from my granddad. So I was attached to this man. He wholeheartedly accepted me. And then he started telling me the relationship he had with my father, how my father took care of him and all that. So now the journey for looking for money has started. So the first time the man asked me to do some assignments, not knowing he was testing me. I said, this kind of test, I will pass 100% because where I'm coming from, that's what we do there.
Mm.
So I helped this man for one crop season.
Okay.
I think the crop season is about, let's say, a maximum of 4 months.
Okay.
So I helped him for one crop season, and then my share of the profit was 3,000. How can I be mentioned? 399,000.
Okay. Those
300
days.
those days,
Okay.
399,000. Day
Okay.
39 cents,
Okay.
39 Ghana cedis.
Mm.
So you say, oh, 399,000, you make it round figure.
Okay.
So 400,000 for everybody. So we were
Okay.
two.
Okay.
So when this discussion was over, he called me that, say, oh, my dedication to the work is adding additional 100,000,
Wow.
making it 500,000. In fact, that 500,000 those days, I could have bought a land and even put up a building.
It's true.
Yes, because those I think cement was about 3 cedis those times. So that kind of money I could have done something with the money.
Mm.
But the target is to go to school. So now it still boiled down to the fact of looking for another 200,000 because last year it was
600,000.
600,000. So maybe this year there could be an increment. So we were targeting 700,000. But I was able to get 500,000. So the rest, I don't have any other means of raising that money.
Mm.
So that was the point where my uncle came in. Then he borrowed some 200,000 from somewhere, added to my money, and then I have 700,000 now. But Kitasco, I have forfeited my admission.
Okay.
So there is no way they could give me a second chance.
Mm.
So the best thing is to go to Zion College. So my auntie's husband is a relative to the then headmistress of Zion College.
Okay.
So we went to her, and then she gave us an estimate that we should look for around 700,000 or
Mm.
750,000. So now I have the 700,000. We went there, so we gave her the money. I didn't pay the fees. I was not allowed to pay the fees to know the component of the fees. We
Mm.
gave her 690,000 because the man who took me there told me that he's hungry. So we use 10 CDs to eat. No, 10 pesos. So that's a 10 pesos, something like that, to eat. So the rest of the money was handed over to the woman.
Mm.
So we did everything. As I stand here, I don't know how much it cost
Mm.
because she did everything, and then I was given admission. So that is all that I want. I had admission and I started school. So now I started school. For the first week, I was given a pocket money. The second week, everything has changed. So for the first week in secondary school, I was given a pocket money.
Mm.
So thereafter, it has become my own way of funding my education. So I would say that apart from the 200 cities, 200,000 that my uncle brought, that I added to my money that I had from then to now, everything about school fees, whatever, is on my shoulders. Now, so I also know that when you pay the admission, later on you pay school fees. So I glued myself to this uncle of mine, working with him. I don't work and ask for money because I know that if I'm asking for money and then maybe I'm using that money, the day will come. I don't like it when they will sack me for school fees. It is exam and then I'm sacked for school fees. That is, I hate it. So I'll make sure that every time when they say school fees, my school fees is paid. Whether I am hungry or not, that one is between myself and myself. I know how to handle that. So one day he called me and said me that my other colleague, when we work for some time, he will come for money. Sometimes he come for money. By the time it is time to pay school fees, then it means that all he has exhausted all his allocations. So it will be difficult for him to pay. By the way I'm doing it, I think he rather have to use my principal for him. So when he asked money now, he was not giving any money again. So whatever I am accrued, it will be put together when it's time for school fees. Willingly, the man pay my school fees for me. I have some small jobs that I do
Mm.
that put money into my pocket. I was a little bit. I had money. Let me put it on. I have some money with me because our shallot. You have the processing. You have to put some pieces of shallot together, tie it.
Okay.
That is the work I do, and then bet you when I see Charlotte heap up like this, I
Mm.
know that yes, my cocoa has come.
Okay.
So I work so hard to get some amount of money put down. So when I'm not giving pocket money, I have money myself, so I don't mind. Mine is to work when it's time for school fees. So we have to wake up around 12 o'clock a.m. Learn at times one, learn for at least 2 hours, and go to farm at 3 o'clock a.m. You can imagine going to farm at 3
So,
o'clock a.m.
so let me ask you this question. So when you were going through these back and forths after you completed junior high school, have to stay at home and work to get money to be able to go to getting Busco the next year. What was running through your mind in terms of the demise of your father?
You see, because I lost him 3 years before I completed school, and I wasn't that much old to
Okay.
even know what death is all about. I saw my father being carried away. I only told my mother that I'm hungry. She asked me, "What do I want to eat?" I take orange. Can you imagine somebody who is hungry? So those days, I don't know what it is to lose someone, or they say your father is gone. I don't know what it was, because I think that was around 13 years, 13,
Mm.
14 years thereabout. So I don't know what it takes to lose a father. But see, when you come to Angola, it is a hassle for everybody. Every young guy, every young boy is doing that farming, going to farm. So it's like it's a normal routine for
Okay.
everybody within that enclave. So I don't see it as that kind of involving, because
But
it's like
but but blending your education at the senior high school with working school, nobody gives you money, you work for yourself, and God for us all. This in mentality, has that have any form of impacts on your academic performance?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yes, because you see, when I wake up, I have somewhere to go, come back, bath, and go to school. Even going to school, I have to walk about, I think, about 2 to 3 kilometers. It wasn't that short distance. It will take me about 25 to 20 to 25 minutes before I'll go to school. So you can imagine if we are late, you'll be punished.
Mm.
So I'm trying to do this. I don't want a situation whereby um my colleagues are in class,
Mm.
then I am outside weeding or sweeping. No,
Mm.
I feel that I'm being cheated.
Mm.
So that is I don't like. It had an impact on me because my colleagues who came up from Accra, Zion College, it's a even some people came from Nigeria,
Mm.
Accra, Kumasi, they are all in the school. They are in the boarding house. They wake up, they cook for them. They are used to bath and learn. So you can imagine somebody who is just eating, bathing, and learning compared to somebody who walks from house to the school,
Mm.
then go to farm. Even that during those time, my uncle was not married at the time, so I was the cook. So you can see all these kind of things. So it's hard because after the school, I realized that no, the grade that I had could have been better if I was also relaxed in the house. Even with that, because of just one point, I was denied the access to the boarding house. There's a scheme
Yeah.
for the best two students to go into the boarding house, and then
Mm.
I think there's a sponsorship who takes care of your expenses until you complete school. So I was denied by a lady with just 1 mark. And then the argument was that there was a lady who came to the school to do science.
mm,
The results were very bad, so he came back to do business
mm,
because he was familiar with some of the core or the 4 cores and then elective maths. So the only new thing she's learning now is accounting,
mm,
business management, and cost accounting.
mm,
So she was able to pull a bigger mark.
mm,
Then the lady who is also from Accra, we
mm.
call it Omari, they are
Okay.
they are the English people. So she passed me with 1. So I was denied that opportunity in going to the boarding house. So I have to face everything all by myself. Yeah, it has had an impact on me because I realized that my grades could have been better if I also have the access of sitting down and then just learning.
Okay. So coming from this challenging background, being everything for yourself, providing your financial need, providing that parental need all by yourself. Did this compel you to go to the training college?
In fact, when in the senior high school,
Mm,
uh, there was this national service personnel who came. We called
okay,
him Darocha.
okay,
Darocha showed us the other side of education.
okay,
In fact, my first accounting exercise that I did, I had 0, not even 0, because the master wrote in my book, you don't follow instructions
okay.
because I don't understand what he was asking us to do.
Mm,
So when this national service personnel came, he was on top of the game.
okay.
So he opened my eyes
Mm,
to the content that I was studying at the time.
mm.
So yeah, but your question again is like
I was asking if
mm,
coming from this challenging background, you had nobody to give you or to provide you financial help. You were all by yourself. Did this compel you to go to the training college to become a teacher?
very good. In fact, training college was not in the equation at all
Okay,
because the man called some of us who were doing good
okay,
in accounting,
okay.
in elective maths, cost accounting, and then business management.
Mm,
That per our performance and then interaction with us, if you could have the chance to go to polytechnic
okay.
to study further accounting, it will be a
Mm,
plus because he can trust that we will do better when we go to polytechnic.
okay.
So, those days there wasn't any career guidance. So it's
Mm,
like he's the only person who called us, just a few of us,
okay.
and telling us this thing. So, okay, so it means that somebody has seen in me the potential of going to poly. So now it has become poly now.
Okay.
You want to go to poly. You want to go to poly. Even when I completed school and I realized that there's no money to go to poly, it is still in my mind that I want to go to poly. I want to go to poly. I want to go to poly. So I realized that things my colleagues who we completed together the following year, they gain admission to Akatsico and then they are studying. And I'm in the house saying I want to go to poly. You want to go to poly too? There is no breakthrough from anywhere coming. And then I say no, no, no. This poly thing, I have to drop it and then find another way around. And luckily enough, that was the time His Excellency J. Kufuor brought this youth employment.
Okay.
And then that youth employment too, I also don't know anybody. So I told my colleague whose brother, whose uncle is a MPP activist
Okay.
that he should channel us because I cannot go alone. I told him, so he's at the front, I'm in his back.
Mm,
So through the man, we were able to gain access to this program.
okay.
Then I was posted to Trekuma.
Okay.
It's a community in the Shima area. So we started our teaching. We work for maybe 4 months. They will pay you three months salary. Then I keep the money down. And I say, fine, this money can help me go to training college. And moreover, too, when I started teaching, I didn't have any training, no in-service training from anywhere. I went there, they put me into the classroom, they give me the curriculum. So when I study the curriculum and then I go to class and then I teach, and I realized that at the end of the day, the students were doing what I'm expecting them to do, then the joy of teaching started dawning on me. All right, because initially that wasn't part of the plan. So when I teach, and then even to the in the community, they say, "Oh, there's a new teacher who has come now. Say John, he's good." So I say, "Hey, so I'm also good." People are started saying something on it. So why can't I focus on teaching and see how the future will
Will
be,
look like.
will look like? So even with that, I was still having a divided mind. So I truncated the service and then I traveled to Nigeria. I visited my uncle in Nigeria. But before then, I applied to Akatsico. I applied because I met some colleagues there who were doing their service was under the GES. That is, there's another name for them. They were not their own was not youth employment. It was another model under GES. They recruit people under GES and then they even migrate them to the payroll, the government payroll, and then the government pays them. And then so we met there, and then one of them was also an alumni of Zion College. So we became
Okay.
so close. So he was saying that it is good we all go to the training college. So because he was there before us, he went. So when I traveled to Nigeria, I applied to come to Akatsico. Nigeria is a different style altogether. So I realized that so this life I'm living in Nigeria, my brothers they have a lot some money, So it is all chill. So this chilling, how long am I going to chill? So I decided no, I told myself no, I have to go back. Maybe I could come back to Nigeria, maybe for a visit, but not just come and sit there, just enjoying life. No, this will not help me. So that was the decision that I made. But so when I came back, a friend called me that I has been served a letter to come for interview in Akatsico. So I came like today, the following day, I have to go and write entrance exam. In fact, I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it. So now I am back to Ghana. So I ran back to the coordinator, told him my story, and then he was passionate enough to bring me back into the system. So I started teaching. By that time, I pleaded with them that Trekuma is too far for me. So they put me at a place that is closer to my, at least I can come back home and come and eat so that I can save money and then go further my education. So from that time, I started learning, looking the try to focus the question that I was asked during that I couldn't make. So I was trying putting myself together, and then when the time comes, I, I I I I was able to pass my entrance exam and then gain admission. But even there was a man, power changed hands, but the program was still in force. So I went back to the coordinator. I told him that okay, fine, I've gotten. It is possible that I'll gain admission to Akatsico, but the money that I have for school fees is not enough. And also, I have worked in excess of 6 months. I was not paid. So if they can get me an advance, this one is not an advance. It's like the government is owing me 6 months salary. But if they can give me 3 months, at least I could add it to some money to go and pay my fees. So the man, he was very open and then he did this for me. And he told me that even if I should go and then the admission could not work, I should come back to him so that at least he will put me back to the service so that I could save money for the future. Now, what happened? The savings that I have, my uncle that I was attached with, who I was working with, and then he was giving me money, paying my school fees, also had an opportunity to travel to Qatar. So he was working on his document, visa, and stuff. He also needs money. So the money, my savings, I gave my savings to him to go and process his document. I gave the money to him I think 2 weeks. Then admission letter came from Akatsico. Excuse me, the room is getting dark. Let me put the light on.
Okay.
I think it's okay now.
Yeah, it's okay.
So after 2 weeks, I again at the meeting. So I went to him, the uncle. This is the admission letter that I have had. And so he found a way so that I can pay my school fees. Because at that time I know that I can't go left, I can't go right. There's nobody to go and ask for money. So the only that is why I started saving money on my own. So if at this time when I gain admission, and then it could be that maybe I don't have money to pay, it is not my fault because I save money. I didn't misuse the money. I saved the money. But because I also try to help someone that is going to cause me to lose that admission, so be it. So days, hours was drawing closer and closer and closer. So he was able to get some loan from someone because at that time we have some crops on the bed,
Okay.
but it is not ready to the market so that we can you can pay me that money. So he was able to get an advance from somewhere. He gave it to me. I added to my money. I went and paid my admission, and then I came back home. So there was a guy there who is also a student at Akatsico. He told me that for the first week they will not do anything. So if I go to school first week, I will work. He started mocking me. He touched my palm. Say, your palm is very soft. You hold the cutlass, you will see what is it. So that was how the transition has been from the senior high school to 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 the Akachi Training College.
Before we even continue, you are just a champion. Because to be able to navigate through all these challenges as a young man, it's only champions will be able to do that. And even though we are yet to even know what happens after college or during college, I can tell you that it's not everybody who will be able to withstand all these difficulties. You are a champion. So in college, going through the training processes as a fresher or as a first year student, how has it been?
You know, they will tell you that a first year you are a slave.
Mm,
So because a friend told me not to go to school in the first week, even though he said I shouldn't go,
mm,
I was doubting because I have not been to training college before. I don't know how life there is. So
mm,
is it not better that I go, even whatever it is that they are going to do to me? Because my mother told me something that if you are serving someone,
mm,
no matter how wicked the person is,
mm,
even if you are working on the field for the person, no matter how wicked the person is, if it is raining, he will ask you to go. But even if the person is extremely wicked,
mm,
that he will allow you to work in the rain, night will fall. In the night, we don't work on the field in the night. So in the night, you rest. So I look at this. So why can't I go to Akatsico and then whatever things that people are doing there, they will not die. Let me also go
mm,
and then see what is happening. But I was still holding back. So I didn't go. And then but I decided not to go on Monday too. So Friday I went. So I couldn't meet the orientations that were done. So the Friday that I got to the airport, Akatsico airport, then I saw our bus there and students were onboarding onto the bus. So I approached one guy, what is happening? Because I just came, my troubles is here. I just came, what is that going on? So they are going for excursion, after how do you call this?
orient,
Orientation. They will take
mm,
you to
the
uh,
count.
yeah, where the dam is and all those
Mm,
places. So I left my troubles there in the care of the security, and then I jumped into the bus. So when we came back, it was time for lunch. So the guy asked me if I think I have some bowls in my troubles. So I shouldn't worry. So I just followed him. He gave me one bowl. We went, we ate. So after eating, we came back. So he decided to help me carry my luggages to the hall. So he asked me which hall. I say Ahiabel Hall. So after school, around 2 to 3 o'clock thereabout, and then seniors were sitting in the parliament. And then a fresher was coming with even a colleague fresher helping him with his luggages. I am dead.
I'm listening to you. Please go on.
Yeah. So immediately senior saw me with my bag with another fresher holding my chore box. They say, "Hey, you are not coming to school. You even have somebody helping you." So I have to put everything down in the front of Anyable under that cashew tree there.
Mm.
They asked me the first question, do you have cutlass? I say yes. I should open the chalkboard and bring the cutlass. So the captain, by the time Akpaliga, took me to, there's a poly tank behind Ahiable, and then he asked me to weed. Now there were two things: either I compensate him not to work, or I work for not coming to school early. And I don't have any compensation to do, so
Mm.
I have to weed. So when I was there, there was a guy who was also weeding. He has been in the school, but he said that he ran to town and then he was caught. So
Mm.
he was working when I was sent to where he was working. That is Sechiwa wisdom. So I hold the cutlass. You know, our place we use hoe, not cutlass.
Okay.
So I hold the cutlass in a very obscure way, or within some few seconds, I can see some bruises in my palm.
Mm.
In fact, I could no longer press my hand on the cutlass again. If I tried, I'm feeling pains. And then they started laughing. Then Sechiwa, who finished his portion, managed to enter into my portion, and then he weeded that portion for me. And then that was how Sechiwa and I became friends the first day I came to Akachi. So I was assigned to Cubicle 6. I went there, the rituals, I had to perform some rituals, some things, and you know, I am somebody who listens and then try to serve. So I have found a lot of favor in the sight of even the person who stopped on bed I was sleeping, who is supposed to be my school father. It has become an argument between him and another person who prefer me to be his school son. So in one same cubicle, I have two school fathers in that same cubicle because I was humble. In fact, I find favor in the sight of the seniors.
So let me ask you this question. When you became a senior, do you know that, as somebody was asking, it is a crime for a fresher to help a fresher on the first day of coming to school?
Yes, it's a crime. But at that time, I'm not prone to the crime. That is my first day of coming to school. So
Ignorance
I
is
don't.
not an excuse.
But no. So in this case, I am not ignorant. The one who helped me is rather ignorant because he has been there before me. He might have been exposed to some of these ordeals already, but he offered to help me. You understand? But he was not punished because he's not from my hall. He's from Beju Hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in college, what was your favorite moment as a fresher?
My favorite moment is when we have entertainment,
Okay.
because that is the only time at least I have time to sing, at least dance,
Okay.
maybe to waste away some of the stress that has been accumulated in my body. So entertainment has been my greatest opportunity,
Mm.
or at a point where I can also feel free. I think at that time there's no senior, there's no junior there. We are all the same. So we do whatever you want to do. But when you leave the entertainment hall, then you have to coil back into the old you, and then wait until another Saturday for you to have another entertainment. Aside
Okay.
that,
Mm.
as colleagues in the same cubicle, we find the time at times to make it.
What is the meaning of to
When we
make
say
it?
when we say we make it, that is the register. When we say we are making it, it means Samuel by is cooking. So there's
Okay.
this friend, Delight, Delight. Yeah, his name is Delight.
Okay.
When I was coming, I brought Gary
Is it the
and
like this guy, Ferguson?
Ferguson.
Okay.
Ferguson. So I brought a lot of Gary. So when we close on prep, Ferguson will go to the senior house, this senior house mistress, the one who is the choir mistress,
Madam, I've forgotten her name.
close to the Ahiablo block there.
Yeah.
So he will go and buy a granite and put it into his pocket.
Mm.
So when they say light out, then I'll hear Matiko, Matiko. And so Charlie, I have granite. So he wake me up, then I open my bag, then we do some soakings. But any other person who feel like joining will
Oh,
join.
also,
Then
yeah.
will join. And that is a moment I will never forget. Because eating together with colleagues like that
Mm,
brings some kind of joy,
mm.
and then it's another reliving moment that. So the light has been playing that role consistently at least 4 times in a week. 4 times in a week. So I always have Gary in my Ghana must go.
Okay. So what happened? How were you able to go through the processes to become the SRC president?
That is another tough question you've asked there. You know, doing all these things, I've been monitoring how things are done in the school. What is actually the role of the executives? What do they do? And so all these things. So one day we were in the bathhouse. Then I called my friend, Courage Baba Hoto,
Okay.
popularly known as the
The
Viper.
Viper.
I told the Viper that I want to contest for SRC president. In fact, he didn't mind me.
Mm,
I said, Matiko, we are getting late. Let's bath and go. So the following day, I told him the same thing.
mm,
Viper, I want to contest for SRC president. He told me that it's like you are dreaming. So the third time, then he now pay attention to me. He said that all this while I've been saying this, he just want to know if actually I am serious about what I'm saying
mm.
or not. Because Viper is connected.
Okay.
He knows a lot of people.
Mm,
He knows a lot of people on campus. So
mm,
so that's how the whole thing started.
mm.
So from Viper, we get to Bob
Okay.
Blaze.
Mm,
So you see, one thing about me is that I try to get people who are influential in the school.
okay.
So those that is my target. So the moment you're able to get the influential people, because the influential people have some level of a control on other colleagues. So we were able to target the influential people in the school. Then we started approaching them. Already, I've been humble. Everybody that I see, I say good morning, I greet. So when it came to this time, so getting closer to the influential people too was not a problem for me because I've been close to them already. So it's not
Mm,
that because I want to be the president now, I am coming. That could have been a
mm,
setback
mm,
because you don't do this.
mm,
Akatsico, they will tell you to your face. It's
mm.
because of this you are doing this. So I didn't have any much difficulty approaching them. So we started from one person to the other, from one person to the other, or one person to the other. Now, one thing worked for me is that in the level 100, there was I think reality show or something. You have to come and then exhibit your talent or something like that. So
Mm, mm,
I was a comedian. Let me see, a favorable comedian that night. My joke was so solid, it got everybody laughing, clapping, and then even though it was like that, I suffered some consequences the following morning because I used my cubicle monitor's name to crack a joke.
okay.
And then at that time, the cubicle monitor ran away from school without exit. So the point was that if mentioning his name to crack a joke should call for a head count, it means that he will be caught for not being running away from campus because
Mm.
I've been in trouble. This I'm talking about asking you famous. He was
Oh,
our cubicle monitor at the time.
Monisa.
So his friend, I've forgotten his name. They are all from Aplau.
Mm,
He's some stout guy. I've forgotten his name. So he punished me on the stretch leading to the senior house father's house.
okay.
So early Sunday, I was working there, and the senior house father was passing by, and then he asked me, gentlemen, why are you alone here working? Because I can't see any other colleagues of yours here. So I was punished for what? For cracking a joke. He said, then your joke might have been a very serious joke. Then we laugh over. We
Mm-hmm.
went away, and then so even when I was working, the guy came back to tell me that I should stop. He said he just want to see whether I would like to do the work, or I will try to fight with him, because it is entertainment. Even though the entertainment prefect made it known to everybody that whatever happened here is for entertainment purposes. So even though that was said, he just want to see whether I will reject, or I will still humble myself, because he had been observing me from afar. I seem to be a very humble person, but he want to know himself whether that is true. Even he say Asinyo, the one whose name I use for the comedy, told him that I am a very calm person. But he want to see for himself whether that is true or not. So I was Spanish, and then I did the punishment, and that was it. So back to the campaigning. You know, campaign have to do with a lot of resources. You have to do with a lot of resources. So getting
Okay.
the right people, get not just any other person, getting the influential people who matter, people who have some kind of followers, getting those people on board. I think that was what worked for me.
Okay. So, becoming the SRC president of Akachi College of Education, what were some of the things that you've been able to do as the leader of the SRC?
Okay, I would say that there's no perfect situation. There's no perfect situation. So, hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Mati?
I think
Yeah,
you
yeah,
went off. Yeah.
yeah. Somebody actually called me. I was trying to hang up the line. Sorry.
Okay.
So you were talking about there is no perfect leadership.
So yes. So um for my achievement, I would say that for the first time in the history of Akatsico, we celebrated SRC week. You
Okay.
know, my predecessor, they tried to do it, but it was truncated somewhere along the line. And the issue
Okay.
was that the SRC week celebration was not part of the academic calendar.
Okay.
So they are not going to allow any other thing that is not integrated into academic calendar. In fact, this SRC week celebration was shot at by three personalities.
Okay.
So he told me that I should do well to celebrate this SRC week, not to fall victim of what happened to him.
Okay.
So, you know, there is this instinct of mine.
Mm.
Just told me that, I should go to this person and ask him about how we should go about this. So when I went to this lecturer, he told me that, let me tell you, this SRC week that was not celebrated by your seniors, it was three of them who sat in one office and then they kick against it.
Mm.
So, okay, sir, thank you for telling me this. So what do you think I can do so that mine will
Mm.
not be like that? He said that I should make sure that the week is integrated in the academic calendar. The moment
Okay.
it's in the academic calendar, it means there's nothing that can stop it. But if it is not there, it means it's a peripheral
Mm.
event. It can be
Okay.
knocked out, because Akachiko, the school is all about academics.
Yeah.
Anything about academics, they'll clap for you. But anything that have to do maybe a little entertainment, no, because the school is for academics purposes. Even if you pass for Akachiko, you yourself you know that yes, you have been to Akachiko, and then the kind of training that you have, you yourself you can attest to. So I started the journey. I spent 1 week on campus trying to convince those who matter to put this week on the on the
On
academic
the
calendar.
calendar.
In fact, it couldn't work. So I went back home. After 3 days, I was called. So I went back, and then we were able to put this in on academic calendar. So I would say that officially we have celebrated our SRC week. That has not happened in the history of
For
in the
Akatsico
Akatsico.
College of.
But I will say that I will not say this trying to downplay my predecessor, because they also did something. They even printed a t-shirt. They printed a
Mm,
t-shirt, but they will only wear the t-shirt to dining hall one evening,
mm,
and that was how that was. But to go into the academic calendar for it to be celebrated in that way, and the purpose for which that celebration was done was that we want to put up a secretariat
mm,
as a student secretary. You know, those days printing was very expensive on campus.
mm,
So that was the main target for doing that. And also, I think we also casted the dining hall tables.
okay.
We have some casting that was done to the
Mm,
dining hall table. And then we also secure some more. You know, when you came to college, you enjoy more than us, because when you came to college, there were some mowers that were doing some greater part of the work. And then you also employ workers. Those
okay.
laborers that do the weeding, SRC pays them. Even
Oh,
when I
okay.
came to office, because we have additional mower, there was the need
Mm,
for us to employ more hands. Because what I
okay.
went through in first year, the first time I went home to visit, that was after 2 months or so, or I think 6 weeks, or yeah, something.
Mm,
It was about 2 months. In fact, my mother saw me. She only gave me water. Then she told me she's coming. Not knowing she went to buy fresh tilapia to come and do live soap for me. Because in fact, if you see me, you can even see my veins.
okay. Let me ask you this question. You mentioned that you have you with other executives have been able to institute the celebration of SRC. There has been an allegation in college, I could remember,
Mm,
that when you were inviting guests for the SRC celebration, you went to the then member of parliament, Do Ajaho, and when you went to invite him, he actually gave you 10,000 Ghana cedis. But it is an allegation. You mentioned this, and it's like the student body hasn't heard anything about it. How true was that allegation?
all right. Before this 10,000 that you mentioned, it was something that was declared when the man was making his speech. Now,
Exactly.
this SRC week too. Let me say something small about the organization. You know, Doa Jaho, I think he has some issue with some element of the NDC who are tutors on campus.
Okay.
So whenever they invite him for this congregation, he don't show up. It is
Mm,
only in the DC that represent him. You understand? So we were getting support from some members. You understand?
okay.
But the moment we
Mm,
mentioned that our guest of honor is Doa Jaho, everybody pulled back. So I don't
mm,
understand. Why? So I'm trying to know. So Doa Jaho, when inviting for functions, even with the principal's signature, he don't come.
mm,
So how much
yeah.
more SRC? Hey, actually, Charlie, what is going to happen? But I told my people that no, I don't have any other person in mind as a guest of honor. It is Doa Jaho.
Mm,
So whether Doa Jaho will come or not, let that be our failure. So we were able to go to Doa Jaho's house. Let me put this on record. When we went to his house, because we called him that he's coming. In fact, the MPs are suffering. If you get to the house of Doa Jaho, even people who were in front of his house, yeah, and then there are people who are in the house. Then hey, Charlie Jai. So when he heard
What
that we
what
are
what 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 are those people there for?
no, somebody is there for the data school fees. Somebody's father is sick, he needs money.
Mm,
Somebody
mm,
needs money for business, somebody's need money for fertilizer, and a whole manner of family issues. So when we came, he said, "Oh, as for him, he don't joke with the students. The students are waiting for him." So he gave us a very nice place. We were there, and then he came out,
Mm.
and then he asked me this question, "Mr. President, this SRC week that you are celebrating, you want to celebrate? Are you having support from management, or management that gave you the go ahead to go and celebrate?" In fact, I couldn't answer this question. He told me that, "Oh, I know you will not answer. I know you will not answer this question, but me, I know management that gave you the green light." So on that day, he gave us 2,000. That
Okay.
he was in Ho. He was in Ho. He heard that we came to Ho to meet the whole Central MP, Honorable Benjamin Kodo.
Nigeria.
No, Benjamin Kodo. That is Ho Central.
Benja. Oh, okay, Benja.
Ho
Okay.
Central. And then later on, he said that he also heard that we went to Bejra. So where do we get money for all these things? So because of how we were trying to make this celebration a success, he's giving out 2,000 Ghana cedis for us to use to do the groundwork for preparation. He knows that traveling from that place to Ho, maybe we will not come back that day. Then all those things involve money. So he's giving out 2,000 Ghana, but he cannot assure us whether he will come that day or he will not come. But whatever be the case, he will communicate to us. So on the day of the event, I was there when a lady came to me that the DC, that is Honorable Nochu Koti, who is now the MP for Akachi
MP.
North. Yeah, he was then the DC for Akachi. That time we don't have Akachi South or Akachi North. It was just Akachi. He was the DC. So the DC want to know if the celebration is starting on the time that I stated on the letter. Upon hearing this one, I smiled because when the MP is coming, the DC must be there.
Okay.
So if it is only the DC that is coming, he will not send a delegation to go and ask me if we are starting. So I started laughing. And my colleagues were asking me, "Why am I laughing?" I said, "No, they should don't worry. They should just wait." So unfortunate for that day we were in front of the Lechakoba Hall, in between Lechakoba and then the round hall. That was where we want to have the event. We rented canopies and then we mounted everything, and then there was a storm. So every place, air blown, every canopies were blown away, and I was very grateful to colleagues who were there, and then we put everything under control. So quickly, you have to change the venue, go to the Lechakoba Hall to go and have the function there. It was not too long when Duajaho came. He saw us in the rain, and then even his four-wheel drive was finding it difficult to navigate. And I told the header, "Honorable, you see how we are suffering. You see, when you are coming from the gate, it is all mud. Then you come back to Lechakoba, that red clay there. You see how we are suffering. So if you can give us some road, we'll be happy." So it was something that I say lightly, and then at the time the principal came, that you, the president, you are the one doing the celebration, and then you didn't even bath. You are now here doing. I said, "Honorable, I have to see that all these things are done. I cannot run away and leave these people, my colleagues, to be working in the rain. I have to show the example. If anybody is coming, at least we have a lot of people here who can stand in as I go and prepare and come." So when the MP came, the principal came for him, and then they went to his office, and then they were having some man-to-man discussion. So within that time, we were able to put everything together, and then the celebration started. So he said it that day, if you were there, he said it, and I quote, "Ever since this boy started disturbing me, the principal never picked his phone to call him to see whether you honor this invitation or not. Even today, I'm supposed to be in South Africa, but because of these boys, I am here." And then what was our demand? Our demand is that we want to put up a secretariat. So that day, he gave us 10,000 Ghana cedis. And this money was to come from MP's common fund. Because what we want to do is a building. And then MP's common fund is the money that you have to account for. You understand? And then some other NDC executives, then I think we're able to get some 350 bag of cement pledges. All right. So after that time, there's exam. So you know, you are also writing about, so you have to settle down, read, and then write our exam, because the school will not say that you are the SRC president, so we are giving you mark for failing. So when we were pushing for these monies to be released to us, at least as a president, let me cut a sword for the commencement of the project before I leave office. Now, the MP said that the money will not be given to the SRC directly. The money will be pushed to the school account. The money will be pushed to the school account because of accounting reasons, because it is a common fund. So when the money is put to the school account, then SRC will now access the money from the school.
Okay.
You understand? So the 10,000 that he was promised, whether it is black or red or brown, I've never seen it in my eyes. Though we follow it, so I think within that time we have to organize elections. So when we handed over power and I was still chasing this money, I was told that the election has been conducted, so a new regime has been elected. So I cannot continue chasing for this. So whatever information I have about all these things, I should give it to the current executive, because they are in charge now. But I told them that no, yeah, I know they are in charge, but I just want to be sure that this money has come, so that at least when they are cutting sword, they will call me for me to come and cut the sword. At least that one is, I know that all my sweat has paid off. But I was not giving attention, so I also let it go. So that was how everything happened. So what I have to do is that I just have to give the current executives who made which pledge, who said what, or who said he want to give us what. So then you go for it, because now election has been conducted. I'm no more the president, so I cannot go to those offices where this information has been secured, seeking for any other. It will be as if I have some imperial motive about the money. It is about Akatsico. You understand? It is about Akatsico. So whoever access that facility to do what we want to do, we are okay with that.
Okay. Now, the duration of this program just span between an hour to an hour and 30 minutes. We have just 7 minutes. Oh, I think we'll make this program. We'll have part 2 of this program.
Yes, we have to.
We have part 2. Yeah, part 2 will talk about some other, so that the video will not be too lengthy for people to watch. Now, after Akatsico, which school were you posted to?
Yeah, after Akatsico, I was posted to Jogopeme MAGHS, which is in the whole West. By the time that I was posted to that place, we didn't have whole West at the time. It was just whole. So we worked through the whole municipal. So within I think within some few months, then whole West was also created. So we now, every document of us was transferred to Whole West Education Directorate. So I was posted to Jogopeme MA Junior High School. It's a town closer to Vane.
Okay.
And then between Vane and Amejope, that's where I was posted to.
Okay. So your first day in school as a newly trained teacher, you were given class, or you were assigned class, or you were assigned subjects to begin teaching. How were you able to blend what you were taught in college with teaching kids in the classroom?
You see, what works for me was that when I was going there, all these pamphlets that we use at school, I carry all of them there, because
Mm.
Now I'm now going to meet the reality. But before then, I did my teaching practice at Gifia,
Okay.
and I have to face panel. Facing panel means that whether you score
Yeah,
high
yeah.
marks
Or you are
or
failing.
you are failing. So I don't know which side I belong to, but I know it's not going to be the failure one.
Exactly.
So all that I was doing at Gifia, for which I was supervised by seasoned teachers from our
Mm.
college, I know that I'm ready for the job. And one thing that worked also was that when I got there, let's say I'm from Akatsico, there was a senior there. I don't know him. I think he was in the out program when we came to first year.
First
So
year, okay.
yeah, so those who are in our program, you don't have the chance to meet them as a first year person.
Mm.
Because before they write their final exam, you are even in the house before they will come and write their final
Mm.
exam.
Mm. Mm.
So
Mm.
the moment I say I'm from Akatsico, now the rapport has been created.
Mm.
So mine is to study what I was given, what I was taught at college, and then try to add my own understanding to it and see
Yeah.
how I can blend it in the new environment that I found myself so that the student can benefit what I am made of.
Mm.
And
Okay. Mm.
mhm,
And you continue.
yeah, the relief was that the day I was going to the village
Mm.
at the station, the drivers realized that I'm not an indigene because I cannot speak
Mm.
Sideme. They speak Sideme. I cannot speak Sideme.
Okay.
So the moment they see Sideme and then you don't understand, then they try to
Mm.
exploit. Unfortunately for
Mm.
me, unfortunately for them, and unfortunately for me that day, the headmistress came to market and then he was at
Okay.
the station when they were discussing how to siphon money from me because I don't even know the place. And then the headmistress asked me, "Young man, where are you going to?" So I've been posted to some village. They say they call Jogbepeme. And then she smiled. She said, I am the headmistress of that school. I'm even going to
Oh.
buy, I'm going to buy a board for the school. So, oh yeah, let's go. So I left my languages there, and then she took me. We bought the board. I carried the board on my head, brought it to the station. Now, so she fought for me. That's what they said.
Mm.
So they are saying that you don't even know the person. Why are you trying to find? So no, the person is going to work in my school. So if the person is going to work in my school, I have an interest in whatever charges that you want to take for the person. So I
Exactly.
was relieved. Before then, I went there myself when school was not in session.
Mm.
In fact, when I got to who I asked, I'm going to Jubofeme. Some people seem not to know where it's called Jubofeme.
Mm.
I asked three people, they don't know. They say I should go to the station. I say, hey, where am I going to? So I got there and I got to the village. I met one teacher. He was from the primary side because the GSS teachers were not in town. So
Mm.
before I went back there, then another Akatsico lady joined me there. So it's like I have a family. So
Mm.
everything was
Okay.
okay for us.
On that Akatsico friend family association that was built, we'll end today's discussion on this note. It's a great pleasure talking with you, Mr. John Akortia, former SRC president of Akachi College of Education. This happens to be part one of our engagement. We'll give you information about the part two. Part two, we'll talk about real life teaching at Jugbepeme, what happens after, and what he's been doing until today. We'll talk about a whole lot of things. I'm so grateful to all of you who are watching and those who will come and watch later. Thank you so much for making time with us. And Mr. Akotia, thank you so much. Senior Matiko, during the discussion, we'll be talking about where Matiko came
All right,
into the picture. We'll talk
all
about
right.
those. Thank you so much for making time with me. God bless you. I'll meet you
Yeah,
up at
yeah.
the second.
Before you go to the second session, I want to commend you greatly for this initiative that you put upon yourself. Last I told my friend that if we can have you about seven
Okay.
from this side of the region, I think
Okay.
we'll be able to make a because people travel and then they forget about even friends. When they
Okay.
travel, they were able to secure some job. They were living good life. That is the end of it. But you
Mm.
decided to. I know it is busy out there. It is
Mm.
busy. That you refer to it as a snow city. I know the snow city is very busy, but you will still find time engaging and educating people, publishing, universities that are giving full scholarship. And who does that? No, because you have a good intention. You see, you have a good intention. You see, let me say this in a way. They say that really solar, when satisfaction is equalized, then happiness is also equalized. So I just pray that you will not stop, truncate this process, continue to do this, because you are impacting a whole lot of people. Okay, so tell your colleagues who are also there that these are the some of the things that we need, because I am here, I don't know what is going on there. You are there, you are seeing what is going on. Okay, so the opportunities that are available, you keep on hammering, and one day it will fall into the deeper sense of someone, and then the person will take advantage of that. So on this note, I want to say a very big thank you for the good work that you are doing. You are actually indeed the son of Akatsico, and then my junior as well.
Thank you, Senior. Yeah, I'm so elated to hear these kind words from you. I'm grateful. It is my pleasure that those who have never had the information I share will come across it and make good use of it. You have already stated that being a teacher has never been part of the plan, but
Yeah.
based on challenges you found yourself in the classroom, who knows if some of these opportunities were created then, who knows, you might have
Yes.
not become a teacher and all this thing. I'm grateful and thank you so much. I'll get in touch with you on the other side.
All right. Thank you
Okay,
for having me.
enjoy your evening. Okay,
Thank you.
then bye-bye.
Bye.